All right, all right, all right. How's it going out there, guys? Got a great show lined up for you today. If you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. And it looks like we have everyone ready to go. The beautiful Betty Von Lovely, how's it going out there, girl?
Yeah, great. Can I go now?
Yeah. Well, you might as well because no one else is showing up. They're playing the fashionably late card. And that's okay. We can adjust.
We got Adam here. Adam is here in the house.
Is Adam
running
here?
really late?
Yeah.
Running late, but I made it before the intro, John. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Adam, you saved us. You saved me.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. All right. So what's going on? So Betty, you didn't have any of the back nine on the links today on the midget golf course. You're good to go.
God, do that again. Stop with the miniature golf.
The midget golf course. Did you listen to that when I said it? Did you catch that part?
Call it in Dutchland. We call it midget golf. Come on. We don't know that you got midgets. We don't.
Oh, wait a second. You call it midget golf, but you don't got midgets? That doesn't make any darn sense.
No, we are the midget in the midget golf.
You're not a midget, for crying out loud.
No, but we play it. And midget is just mini, right? Not that tall.
No, if anything, you're giants on that land, aren't you? Like bigger than the windmills.
Right.
It's not midget golf, it's giant golf.
Right.
Oh, why do I have to explain this to you? Wise guys, but you're wise guys, all right, but in a different sense.
Not wise guys, but smart Alex.
Yeah, stupid.
Wise guy, man. Yeah, see?
There's chocolate.
What's up, guys?
There's chocolate right on time as usual.
Well, at least he's here. Don't shoo him away.
Shoot.
Chocolate, bro.
Shoo.
Oh yeah, we have to check that chocolate. Can you hear Adam?
Adam, say something.
Good evening, sir. How are you, my friend?
Loud and clear.
Sweet. It looks like we resolved that little issue, huh? Cool. All right, so let's go through it. We got to check the weather. Betty.
It's largely covered. No rain.
No rain. Pretty warm.
Yeah, it's like sort of humid, sort of warmth. And it's all in the house too. So
Oh, when it gets, yeah, I got you. Yeah. When you make toast, it gets soggy real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
that was quick and short. Adam, in the Midlands of the Eastern Lands, how's the weather over there?
They're all good, bro. It's 22, 23 degrees French, and a bit cloudy with the odd spatter of, like that chubby rain, but just for like 5 seconds, a little bit of that.
You got you got big old fat rain.
Chubby rain, yeah, but those big fat drops that come poke you for 3 seconds, and then the sun's back out.
A little chubby at the bottom, like pear-shaped rain, or
Yeah, well, you could say a little bit rounder, a little bit thicker at the bottom. Yeah.
What
a
about
little chubby at the bottom.
What about the itty bitty stinging rain?
None of that.
Sideways rain. Rain seems to come up from underneath.
The chubby stuff.
Yeah. Cool, man. Chocolate. How's the weather over there in Georgia, man?
It's hot.
Yeah.
Little cloudy. It looks like it might rain a little bit later, but who knows?
So everyone's
Georgia's
getting
a little weird like that.
So everyone's getting rain. You still on the job? I hear some background noise.
Yes, sir. I'll leave in about 25 minutes.
About 25 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So what's going
It's
on?
hot from all those fires going on.
What's that?
It's hot in Georgia with all those fires going on.
Is there some
Burn
fires down there?
Everything over there.
I'm sorry. Is there some fires in Georgia? I wasn't keeping track.
Yeah, they burned down the Wendy's. You didn't hear a
Burnt
lot of
down.
political stuff going on over there.
Oh, burnt
All the
down.
Wendy's.
Oh, good. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
John.
I stopped talking. Go ahead.
You need to keep up, John. There have been fires all over the place, rioting, looting, whatever. And there's a Wendy's that went up in flames.
Oh, I thought it was Georgia. See, there, Wendy's isn't Georgia.
Well, might there not be many Wendy's in Georgia?
I
don't
thought
know.
there was some wildfires or something, right? The one thing about Georgia that I noticed when I went there way back in the day, and it was really, it stood out like a sore thumb, is that they're pine trees, right? The limbs start halfway up the tree. There's no low limbs. I always looked at it and said, what the hell is going on? That and the red clay and the fire ants. That's, yeah, those three.
Yep. The red clay, the red dirt everywhere. Like when I first got here, I was like, what the hell's going on? Why is everything red?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Why do you have red dirt? Like,
You gotta watch out for the red ant hills. Those are fire ants.
Yeah,
oh,
they
yeah,
got
I've
some
seen-
bad
I've
fire
seen
ants
some of
down there.
those.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
experienced them directly. Yep. Good times in Georgia. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, you had some ants recently. Those were smelly ants, weren't they?
Yeah, they call them odorous ants. They're really tiny, and you can't. I had battalions, brigades, divisions in the fall. They would form out on my driveway, right, and then get in formation to go off into hibernation land. But I know that they were searching out avenues into my house before that, right? So they can just overwhelm you because they're so small. And it was really funny because my son, he would say that they smell. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about, right? And because he would smash them. And I said, freaking ants don't smell. But I never knew of odorous ants. I never ran across them before. And I smashed one day. And they're so small, but they're the odor, it's not unpleasant. It's kind of unique in a way, but it's really strange. And I don't know how I got on this topic.
Yeah, so we bring it back to you. So how's the weather at your place?
You know what? Let me take a look out there.
Let me take a look. I see you back in an hour.
Yeah, it's not bad out here. Sunny and little breeze. Kids went swimming.
Nice.
Yep, kids went swimming, but I think they're going to get cold. They better stay underneath the water because the wind will get them. So, but
Where
that's
do they
not
swim? Do they swim in a pond or what? Where?
in a pond. No, we swim in cement ponds here, not in a freaking pond. I'm not that back. I'm not
I don't
that.
know what you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
God!
I'm sorry.
I'm not that backwoods. We could swim in ponds if we wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys in America don't have water. Yeah, we do have water, but not something that you can easily swim at.
But you
And
got
I think
dikes.
they're ponds, right? Lakes,
Yeah.
ponds, whatever.
You mean you can't swim in the dikes?
No, you can't.
Put your fingers in a dike. Some
There
dike.
are frogs that poo in it.
No.
Yikes, yes.
Oh man, sick. No wonder. Yeah, I got you. All right. Before we get to the Retard Manifesto, folks, let me tell you something. You're in for a real treat. I don't know what's going on out there in Baltard Bozo land, but I think they're trying to trump one another on the stupidest arguments. Before we get to that anything new on the flat Earth Baltard Bozo front that I've missed?
Other than Rumpus clearly telling us yesterday that the geometric horizon exists in math, not much. Funny enough, because that's what we've been telling them, and apparently they've come around to that, so that's good.
I'd agree with that, Chocolate. I think that's the one place and only place it does exist is in
Right. But then when he proceeds to tell us how that math is somehow being refracted into an apparent horizon, that it's like, ew, what?
Yeah,
But yeah, the first part, yeah.
But wait a second. Wait a second. I got a question because I've seen that geometric horizon in every single Earth curve calculator that I've come across for the past 4 years, a little over 4 years now. What's up with that?
Like you said, you've seen it in the calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see that in reality, though.
That's a problem then.
A bit, because they want to call it a horizon, but then they'll tell us we don't see that horizon. But that's weird, because a horizon is something you see, making it a horizon. So, yeah. I don't know.
All right. So is that it? You guys are ready for this?
Okay.
Yeah, I am, because I have no idea what this is about.
Oh, you don't?
Locked and loaded.
Nope.
Locked on. Okay, let me just give you, because this has a little story behind it. Last Tuesday, I got a Skype message from a really, really good friend of mine that posted something from Gem Panda's server, right? Little snippet. And that really, really, really good friend was Betty, by the way. Shout out, Betty.
Oh, God.
So now she didn't put any text with it. She didn't have it. It was just the paper on its own. Now I did a quick once over because I was busy doing other things. So I just put it to the side. I said, I'll get to it Thursday or Friday after I have the other presentations that I were working on squared away. But like I said, I gave it, its due attention, give it a quick once over, and I started snickering to myself because a couple things jumped off the page, but I didn't really get into it, right? So I set it off to the side. Come Thursday, I think it was Thursday evening, that I jumped into Discord and I seen it again. Somebody had posted it in a live stream, and I thought it was Unorthodox, who is AKA B-Fitty. And I said, you know what? There was a bunch of people in the VC, Hank and a whole bunch of people in there, and I brought the subject up. I pulled up the document. I said, you want to see something really funny? And let me show you the document. So this is what I seen right here. Okay? So Dome Killer, it had this, it had the Modus Tollens, right? So I felt pretty good about it because imitation is the most sincere form of what? What's that? What's imitation most sincere form? Anyone know?
All right.
Flattery.
Flattery, exactly. So I, like I said, I said, oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I brought this document up, and then I focused on, of course, the top. Let's read the top. The death of the flat-tard never witnessed non-antecedent dome. Right? So I brought that, everyone started laughing. And what I didn't know is either B-Fitty was in the room or somebody was telling him that I was in the room going over this, and everyone was, laughing hard, right, at this antecedent. And I said, there's one more thing down here. Just superficially on the surface, I said, where's the conclusion at? Therefore not P? Why isn't it in here? So we had a pretty good laugh for a while, and I said, you know what? I might go ahead, and as soon as I seen it, I termed it the Retard Manifesto right off the bat, so the name stuck. So I said, I didn't want to, charge the entire Baltard community with this frigging insane rag. So I wanted to find out the author. So I went back into the original, and the original poster was somebody named Normal Gamer. And he, just by coincidence, had been either in the VC or in the chat. And I said, I kept on asking, who's the author of this? Who's the author? No response. And then I see Normal Gamer. I said, hey, did you author this? He said, no, it was B-Fitty. So B-Fitty was in the chat also, so I kept on asking, are you the author? Are you the author? With no response, right? So I was sort of perplexed. I didn't know what route I was going to go. I knew I was going to present on this. I just couldn't charge anybody with it, right? So come Saturday, or I think it was late Saturday or early Sunday, that I seen another one of these arguments, but it wasn't the same as the one on my screen. It had a conclusion and it had the antecedent gone. They changed it to the correct one. And I said, what in the world is going on here? And B-Fitty was in the room, but he couldn't talk. So I waited around for a little while and I said, listen, I have the original argument. And it's not the same as the one I just seen. What's up with that? Because it had those two changes that we were making fun of in the room before. And I said, you can't do that. This is the argument. This is what I'm going to roll with, right? You can't make the changes that I suggest or was laughing at and then pretend it's your document now. Oh, no. That doesn't work like that, son. And so we got to this point now. There's another thing that happened I think it was between Saturday morning and Sunday morning, that I don't know what happened, but B-Fitty Jedi mind trick Hillbilly Blue Balls, the Redneck Retard, aka the Photosynthetic Redneck, into taking this argument on for herself. And then I was told that he made a video on it. So I said, oh my God, somebody's smiling down at me, right? Because this, I'll tell you. So that's the story. That's where we are now. And I think there is about 3 or 4 different spins off this same argument that was posted, like I said, a week ago. So you guys are all caught up with the story. I know it was riveting, but I needed to give...
Just for clarity.
Go ahead.
Okay, can I ask you, when you say B-Fitty, do you mean 50, aka Unorthodox?
Yes.
Or is this another guy?
No, I call him
He did come and present this on Nathan's sometime last week. He did come and present this on Nathan's sometime last week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I think Nathan destroyed it pretty quick, but I remember him posting this and us going through it.
Yeah, I was unaware of that. Okay, all right. Well, still, like I said, I was trying to get a whole bunch of ballers to endorse it. There was a lot in Betty's server endorsing. I said, well, are you climbing on this crazy train? And they said, yeah, what's wrong with it? We don't see anything wrong with it. I said, okay. So I start marking down names, and then I said, to heck with it. I'm not charging, specific people with this. I'll just put it on, just to let you know. The Baltards have been fawning over this thing, right? But the toe tags are going to be the Photosynthetic Redneck and B-Fitty, just to let you know. So everyone's caught up.
Yeah. B-Fitty or B-Fitty?
I call him B-Fitty. But he has many. Yeah. He has many names, and he's been toe tagged like 3 or 4 times. Just see the toe tag playlist.
So many names, man. Come on. We don't even know who the real people are. We call them by their nicknames now. Of the nicknames that they already have.
Oh, and by the way, this original argument I put in the description box below this video. It's down at the bottom. So if you guys want to check it out, it's there for you, for your review. So let's see what we got here. Do we want to get into this?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, 1 second, man.
It's a dome killer?
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's dome killer. That's it.
And they used a logical syllogism?
Yes, they did. They used the modus tollens, of course.
So you gave them the tools, and now they're trying to work with them.
Yeah, it's like giving a 3-month-old a chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens when you give a 3-month-old a chainsaw. You're going to see this is by far, I'll tell you what, the level of stupidity here is beyond. It took me a little while to figure out how stupid this was.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, this is a dumpster fire of a train wreck. You're not going to believe this, folks. I'm telling you. What we're going to go through here.
I think, though.
Say again?
I said I do like the formatting though.
You do like the formatting in their in this right here?
It's the nice coloring and stuff.
Yeah, they tried to mimic somebody.
Oh,
I don't know.
try to do.
So what I did was, let me take this out. Let me push this over. All right, let's see what we got here. So I went ahead and took the liberty of putting this into one of my presentations so I could work with it, right? We'll get going. Like I said, this is the #1 dome killer. We'll go through it here. So, the death of the flat tard never witnessed non-antecedent dome again. So here we go. Listen closely. If the Earth is flat with a dome to contain the atmosphere, then every pressure measurement must conform to Gay-Lussac's law, which states if temperature increase, pressure must also increase. Here's a little equation for you. Doesn't seem too rough. The #1 dome killer, Modus Tollens. Holy smokes, Batman. This is gonna hurt. Yeah, gonna hurt you, Catwoman. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. So here it is. If the Earth is flat with a dome to contain the atmosphere, P, then every pressure measurement must conform to Gay-Lussac's law, which states if temperature increases, pressure must also increase, Q. Not Q. So on 8/5/2020 at 7:35 p.m., the temperature was measured to be 92 degrees Fahrenheit, and the pressure was measured to be 992.9 millibars. On 6/8/2020, at 5:53, the temp was measured to be 46 Fahrenheit, and the pressure was measured to be 1,017.7 millibars. So, like I said, the first thing I said, where's therefore not P? Right now, I just got a couple links here. I'm going to use the second link. This link right here is just went to Boise Air Terminal in Idaho. All right. And that's where they got this information from. I'm not that interested in it. It just gives the regular dew points and humidity and stuff like that. It's not all that important. I trusted them to have their data correct, right? That's not the issue. So let's go through this. Hopefully everyone caught on to at least a couple snafus. If you hadn't, I'm going to go ahead and expose them here for you. We'll take a break after a couple of these. I'll figure it out. We'll go by feel. So, obviously, the first one, #1 of numpty dipshittery, one on Earth is a non-antecedent. That's what we want to know. Geez, oh man, guys, at least spell the word correctly. Or just fake it or something. I know you guys don't understand this. Let's go over this necessary antecedent consequent relationship. We'll go over it step by step and in context of our topic. This is quite simple. The consequent is gas pressure. The necessary antecedent is container. Just like the consequent filet mignon, the necessary antecedent cow. You see, if it's already clearly established that to have filet mignon, cows must exist, if that is clearly established as absolutely true, then if someone slaps a filet mignon down on the table in front of me, then I know with absolute certainty that the cow exists without ever seeing or needing to see a cow or data for a cow. The hair color, tail length, type, who cares? I don't need to see it. I know one existed to give me that filet mignon. Pretty easy. I can give this to a child. They can understand it. I.e., gas pressure is the filet mignon, the container's the cow. I know that it's difficult for you baltards and your sort to process this. Just have one of your slobber nurses explain it to you. So that was the first shot across the bow. Little pedantic, but that's okay, you know. At least you got to be have some modicum of professionalism, so at least get the name right. This makes you look like a horse's ass. Which you are, right? You ain't hiding. #2, this is quite important. This is going to roll through #2 and #3. Check this out, folks. Look what these numpties did. Number 2 of numpty dipshittery. This comes from their statement above, Gay-Lussac's law, which states if temperature increases, pressure must also increase. Yeah, but that's not the whole story. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Gay-Lussac's law, from their link, Chem Libre text, when the temperature of a sample of gas in a rigid container is increased, the pressure of the gas increases as well. Gay-Lussac's law states that the pressure of a given mass of gas varies directly with the absolute temperature of the gas. Well, duh. And when the volume is kept constant. See, that's the full law. You guys kind of forgot about this given mass of a gas and the volume. I'm going to show you. This is pretty scary, stupid. 2A, to invoke Gay-Lussac's law, you must first reckon with the container. Why? Because that's one of the conditions in the dang law. Like with all the other combined laws that form the ideal gas law, they all have a container. That's Charles' law, Boyle's law, Avogadro's law, right? So you must first reckon with the container, but your whole argument is that there is no container. That's your whole argument. So something's not making too much sense here. So 2B, this is where it starts getting good, 2 and 3. 2B of numpty dipshittery, Gay-Lussac's law states, like I said above, that the pressure of a given mass of gas varies. Well, yeah? Number 1, define mass, boneheads. That'll be a fun trip. And number 2, this is really good. I'm going to bring this up. We're going to touch on this below. Define partial pressures of gases. Right? Because you're going to have to invoke Dalton's law here. You don't know that because you're numpties. But you're going to have to define partial pressures because you're dealing with a mixture of gases. Right? That's going to become a problem here in a few seconds. Number 3. To make a legitimate comparison, apples to apples, numpties, between the 5 August and 8 June queries. Listen closely. The masses of gases, makeup of gases, volume of gases have to be exactly the frigging same. Hello? If not, then ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the bozos are comparing apples to orangutans. It's just as simple as that. So, numpty dipshit bozos, please provide your data for 5 August, the masses of gases, the makeup of gases. We need to know the makeup of the gases for each 5 August and 8 June so we can make an apples and apples comparison. And the volume of gases. That's going to be another hilarious one. So we need these data for both these days. Both the queries. Until you provide these data points, newsflash, you don't have an argument. By the mere fact that you posted an argument without the above data points makes you pretender clown Mr. Magoo numpty dipshits of the millennium, i.e. modus morons. Unbelievable. Oh, we're going to stop. I'm going to stop right there. Go ahead.
Modus morons?
Yeah, modus morons. I'm going to stop right there. Take a little break and see if anyone else has caught on to this. Questions, comments, concerns.
Concerns?
Me, John, that confusing when I just read it, but as you've gone through Gay-Lussac's law there, I mean, fundamentally for me, Gay-Lussac's law is it's designed more an expression to give you the grasps, the concepts of how if you heat something up, you energize a gas particle and it moves faster for exerted greater pressure. And all Gay-Lussac's law is just stating that relationship between you energize particles more, they move faster, therefore they'll exert the pressure. It expresses that mathematically. And most fundamentally, it's not to be applied to atmospherics because it's not independent. Where you would apply Gay-Lussac's law is they had a balloon, was at room temperature, and you are able to heat the air inside the balloon up. The balloon would expand. Fortunately, that's a bad example. Keep it in a box, which is rigid, then increase the temperature. Molecules will move faster. They'll the walls of the container more frequently and will exert a larger pressure. And that's what Gay-Lussac's law is there for. So if you wanted to say, right, if at room temperature, this box has got a pressure of this, and we move it up to this temperature, and what will be the resultant increase in pressure within inside the box by increasing the temperature? That's what it's for. But it requires fully static and contained system, which no way you can apply that to an atmosphere.
Oh my God, man. Go ahead. Keep going.
Unless,
I'm sorry.
On the first date, they went and they took that bit of atmosphere, put it in a box, then brought it back to that place at the different temperature the following week or whenever it is, then you could apply Gay-Lussac's there. But you would have to box that bit of atmosphere, demonstrate the effect of Gay-Lussac's law. Otherwise, you can't apply it to a different dynamic system. It doesn't apply.
Exactly. You got exactly. Yeah, this. Because you're going to end up comparing apples to orangutan. In fact, it's much worse than this. We're going to get to that. But yeah, you're right. It's what was your first impression when you first looked at this?
What are they on about? I struggled to comprehend, certainly because obviously that formula's there as if formula powerful, scary flat earth, you should be a cheer. We've got a formula, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, so what? How can you apply that to what you're about to say in terms of the only application is to say that the dome isn't a dynamic system and that all of that P1 is equivalent everywhere within the dome.
Shit, don't do it. No, don't. You're gonna
Stop.
stop. You're gonna give
me into looking at equations. Stop it.
You're gonna give the game away. But you're right. Exactly, Adam. That's how stupid this is. You're gonna love it. We're gonna go over that. Yeah. Unbelievable. All right. Chocolate, did you catch on to this? Like I said, it's so stupid, it's hard to catch it.
To be honest, I'm actually I'm getting ready to leave work. I didn't listen to that last part, and I'm debating somebody at my job while I'm doing that. So. I'll catch up at the next section.
You're recused at this moment.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead. Neil, did you catch what's going on here or no?
Yeah, I read it the other day when you posted it. And let's call them by their real names. No more Pete whatever 50. That's unorthodox.
Yeah, it's unorthodox. It definitely is. And don't forget about the honorable mention. He Jedi mind tricked the photosynthetic redneck. So
no, he didn't Jedi mind trick him. That guy's just a retard. So you could stamp it on the whole baller clan.
You're on about the use of Gay-Lussac's law. Orthodox. It's not unorthodox. It's incorrect.
That they think it's Gay-Lussac's law, what they're trying to prove, but they're not using Gay-Lussac's law. That's what the hilarious part is. Yeah. Too funny. All right. Who else we got here? No other. We got the Pressed On. I want to get his take on this because I think he was in the VC when we were talking about this before. Let's see his take on it. Go ahead and unmute him, Betty. See what he has to say about this.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, Preston? Were you in that hangout or am I mistaken?
Yes, I've been hanging out in the voice chat. My understanding of this is they try to use it to say that we can't have a rigid container, but they're never measuring the ground pressure. So what the F are they talking about?
No, it's much worse than that, dude. It's so bad. But we're gonna get to it. Okay, cool. Yeah, remember we were laughing that day, and he changed the argument the next day. We had a new argument come out, just a little different from the original. I don't know how many there are now. I think I've seen two other ones. I didn't pay them much attention. I just blew them off. I don't really care what they say. All right. Let's rock and roll, man. We're going to get into this. It's pretty friggin' hilarious. All right. Back to the measurements. Like I said, you need to provide these measurements. Or it's like, it's even worse than comparing apples to orangutan. You're not comparing anything. I mean, you're forcing the comparison where there is no comparison whatsoever. That's how stupid this is. So number 3, if you think you don't have to provide these measurements, and you absolutely do believe this, numpties, because you're abject morons, and you already posted the argument, then you must consider the entire Earth system as the volume that you're keeping constant, and would have to raise the temperature of that entire Earth uniformly 2 times, once for each iteration, to make your measurements and for those data points to have any friggin' meaning whatsoever. Or you must consider Boise Air Terminal, where they got these measurements from, the entire Earth. That's how stupid this is. I can't break it down any further for you, folks. I can't do it. That's how stupid this is. Beyond stupid. I mean, you'd have friggin' Dumb and Dumber guys, Mr. Magoo and Elmer Fudd, blushing at this. Oh, here's another good one. Adam's going to love this. From their alma mater wiki. Gay-Lussac's law for comparing the same substance under 2 different sets of conditions. The law can be written as this, like they had in their argument. Pressure 1 divided by over temperature 1 equals pressure 2 over temperature 2. Hold on, let me just, I know you want to go, Adam. Let me just give this definition from Wiki. Gay-Lussac's law. Listen closely. The pressure of a gas of fixed mass and fixed volume is directly proportional to the gas's absolute temperature. You see these 2 guys right here? You don't have these. Oh my God. Did somebody want to chime in on this?
Yeah, I mean, are they measuring the whole barometric pressures of every point everywhere on Earth?
No. Nope.
And that's why I said kind of the radical thing about the ground pressure. Like, even if I wanted them to sell me a dream that they can do that, there's other variables involved.
We're gonna get to those. Adam, do you want to? I know you like the equation. You like this?
I mean, that is a derivation of it, because fundamentally it's telling you that P times T gives you a constant.
Mm-hmm.
From that, you can derive that. It's categorically stating conditions in which that is applicable. So to try and then apply it to a dynamic system has so many holes, isn't there? So many other variables, it is incorrect to try and apply Gay-Lussac's law to any particularly randomized time samplings of the atmosphere.
I didn't even factor that in.
Do they think anything through? Do they just
No.
Are you going to recover?
Oh my god. I love this community.
Yeah, which one?
Oh my god, I'm quick.
I think hey, John, you've been so kind early on in terms of allowing a lot
So
of
kind.
stuff. Yeah, because it is
Laughing in their faces now. So
Oh.
kind.
fundamentally it's incorrect, isn't it? And I think you get to the point of laughing where you try to apply it with what the statement is, and
Okay.
fundamentally it's incorrect, isn't it? It is like when you're comparing apples and oranges, you're trying to sample A and sample B, and the two have got no control between the two. And the level of assumptions that you're trying to place in is false. You just can't match conditions to apply to that formula. It's just complete and utter nonsensical use of that. It's totally incorrect. I know you used the term was it orthodox use of it. It's not an unorthodox use. It has no application.
Right.
What you're trying to
Right. It has no application to this situation at all. It's like measuring a 2x4 in kilobytes. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. He did try.
Uh,
I mean, the syllogism, that's something. He found some tools, and now he needs to work it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
3-month-old with a chainsaw.
They're cute in that age, yeah. At that age.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to draw this out too much, but I really enjoyed that right there. That was pretty funny. So let's continue. You numpty dipshit bozos can't even define mass, let alone a fixed mass. But you have many different gases that are not fixed, and you don't have a fixed volume. So take a wild friggin' guess of the fate of your equation above, along with your modus moron argument. I mean, this is exponential magnitudes. This evaluation right here doesn't do it justice. You need to be institutionalized. Seriously. Number 5. How did you take gas pressure measurements without a container? From Elmhurst University, the pressure of a gas is the force the gas exerts on the walls of its container. Sciencelearn.org. The atoms and molecules in gases are much more spread out than in solids or liquids. They vibrate and move freely at high speeds. A gas will fill any container, but if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape. From NASA. The molecules are in constant random motion and frequently collide with each other and the walls of a container. Because the molecules are in motion, a gas will expand to fill the container. Since density is defined to be the mass divided by the volume, density depends directly on the size of the container in which a fixed mass of gas is confined. Kinetic molecular theory explanation of Boyle's gas law. Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collisions of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure, that is, force on a unit area. That's a surface area. So if the container is what is causing, along with the collisions, if you take one of these variables out, you don't have gas pressure. From Chem Libre text, pressure, it's going to be an echo of the above statement, the kinetic molecular theory explanation. Pressure is caused by gas molecules hitting the walls of the container. With a smaller volume, the gas molecules will hit the walls more frequently, and so the pressure increases. So back to the question that you guys whistled past because of your religious friggin' fanaticalism about disproving this dome, disproving the container. How did you get the gas pressure measurements in the first place, guys? You forget about these. Unbelievable. Number 6. Like I said, where's the conclusion? Therefore not P, pray tell. Could it be that you didn't want anyone to see this part of your dumpster fire P again? If the earth is flat, you didn't want anyone to see this again, did you? That's another thing we were laughing at, because guess why? This, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, has nothing whatsoever to do with their moron argument. If the earth is flat, it has nothing to do with their train wreck argument to begin with. So I don't know, you wanted to somehow attach this to your train wreck so it would take the flat earth with it or something without any connection whatsoever, any coherent connection. You just placed it in there. That's what it looks like. This is such a train wreck, guys. All right, listen closely. I'm going to summarize this. I'm going to go through it. Let me go through it twice. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, not even taking into account their utter numbskullery of not recognizing the slap-in-the-face comparison of apples to orangutans, i.e. the absolute cluelessness of the different masses of gases, makeup of gases, volume of gases, and their critical fundamental importance to the situation. According to the bumbling blockhead Bunning-Brugger buffoons, because there is a higher pressure at lower temperature compared to the first measurement, therefore a container is debunked, not needed for gas pressure to exist. It's shocking. This is absolutely shocking. I'm going to say it again. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, not even taking into account their utter numbskullery of not recognizing the slap-in-the-face comparison of apples to orangutans, i.e. the absolute cluelessness of the different masses of gases, makeup of gases, volume of gases, in their critical fundamental importance to the situation. According to the bumbling blockhead Bunning-Brugger buffoons, because there is a higher pressure at lower temperature compared to the first measurement, therefore a container is debunked, not needed for gas pressure to exist. I can't believe I even had to write this. This belly-laughing dumpster fire train wreck of mammoth proportions is so far beyond non sequitur. Language cannot encapsulate it. These wee knob snack sniffing fanatical religious cretins unwittingly debunked Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, and tumbling uncontrollably on the floor, laughing my friggin' butt off, Gay-Lussac's law. You actually debunked in your own, if this was legitimate in your own mind in your argument, you just debunked Gay-Lussac's law. It's unbelievable. P.S. Honorable mention to the debunked second law of thermodynamics too. I'm almost speechless. Honestly, what more needs to be said? I know what needs to be done. This is scary, stupid, folks. We're at a whole new level now. You thought air is not the atmosphere and second law doesn't apply to the earth was stupid. We're at a completely new level. Finally, does this colossal moronic Dunning-Kruger implosion rival, remember this? The claim water vapor is a gas. From Professor of Physics Phil Belland, that is the dumbest thing I think I ever heard. Are you joking? I'll leave this conundrum to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Thanks for your ear. Have a nice day. Comments, questions?
I'm trying to be helpful. I'm trying to help them reformulate.
Good luck.
I'm not having much success it being a Earth killer when I try and reformulate it. The best I've got to so far is if the Earth has containment, we would experience gas pressure. We do have gas pressure, therefore we must have containment. Struggling to them any more than that. The syllogism seems the most condensed form.
I hear you're struggling because you can't even take the tenets of their argument and apply it to their conclusion because there's no connection to make.
Unfortunately, the first thing I had to do was cast out any use or hope for any use of Gay-Lussac's law within this paradigm because it's not relevant discussion.
Exactly. That encapsulated exactly. It doesn't have any relevance. It's disconnected. Laughingly so. And if you put this out as a serious argument, I'm sorry for you. You need to be forced lobotomized. This is past Dunning-Kruger. We're well past that. Right?
It's the contradiction, John. And if you look at the detail of the sample that they give, it's contradiction there in the fact that you would have to deny any understanding of the atmosphere being dynamic. It's that contradiction there between what they're sample sizing and the actual definitive statement of how you apply Gay-Lussac's law.
They don't even have a sample.
Married.
They don't have a sample size. They don't have a fixed volume.
Even if I let them take that very small thing as if it meant something, being that, again, a week later, a day later, 5 minutes later, dealing with the dynamic system, the fundamentals is particularly with it, within Gay-Lussac, is that fixed volume,
right?
Because we're talking about the relationship between how, with a fixed volume, not changing that thing, even if you were to keep the volume the same and swap what was inside,
right?
It's not applicable.
Exactly, you got it. Yep.
It's talking about the relationship. If you alter one of the, for example, whatever the temperature was, if you was to more in apply, it would have an effect on the temperature. It's talking about that relationship between P and T when you keep V fixed.
Right.
It is a derivative of PV equals nRT. It's a more basic, earlier form. It's where it comes from.
Right. Exactly. You got it. That was articulated very well. Let's say on your first measurement, first you don't have a fixed volume and you don't have a fixed gas. So I'm just entertaining this nonsensical buffoonery. Check this out. So you take your first measurement and you mark down all the data, the pressure, temperature, good to go. Let's say the next day at Boise Air Terminal, Aunt Jenny pulls up in her van, in her diesel friggin' 75 van, right? And before you take your measurement, like 5 minutes before, she cranks up that friggin' gas diesel guzzler and smokes everything out, right? Right there. See, you haven't accounted for the change. Like I said, you haven't accounted for the mixture of gases. And the partial, that's where you're going to have to take, if it's a mixture of gases, you're going to have to invoke Dalton's law, right? Because you have to take the partial pressures of all the substrate gases so you can form the total pressure. This is mind numbing. And it's always changing. Like you said, the dynamic system, second to second, it's always changing. It's never the same. Right? I don't know, dude. This is so stupid.
That's the point, isn't it? Fundamentally, you can't. You just take Gay-Lussac and say, I want to take these data, I want to extract the data. What do I need? What you can't do is come back a week later if you have any comprehension of a dynamic system. It's a complete ignorance of understanding of dynamic system we're in, or complete ignorance of the application of Gay-Lussac's law. But it's cake and eat it time again. They want it to mean something. It means nothing in this context. It is not
Yeah, well, it doesn't. You wouldn't have to come back. You could 3 minutes later, 2 minutes later. Hey, regardless that you don't have a fixed mass of gas or a volume, regardless of that, everything else it's constantly changing. So this is, like I said, I hope everyone got it because it's really hard to unpack stupidity that doesn't make any sense to begin with. Right? This doesn't, I didn't even have to do anything with this. All I had to do was just post the argument.
All you could do is take that box of air, John, right, and take it and sample it and say it's this. Then you could take it into a lab and you could heat it up. Say, oh, look, now the pressure's this. Then you could say, but that's not comparable to a different part of Earth where the temperature's that. But look, the pressure's different.
Right.
All right. That has no reflection on containment.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Adam, I don't think people are appreciating the abject stupidity of this. I really don't. I really don't. I don't think they can. I don't think people can. Let's get a feeler out there. Who we got in here? Neil, do you feel the abject stupidity of this?
Yes, I do, but I don't get it like you guys with all the equations and all of these gay laws, whatever. But the first thing I did say to myself when I read it was, are they considering that we are in a dynamic system? Did say that to myself.
Right.
But I'm getting it now that as you are explaining it, you and Adam, I'm catching it.
The way, Neil, I'd summarize it, it's a bit like apples on. If like sweet, I gave you a ruler, right, and said measure that bit of wood, right, and then I said come back next week, measure a different bit of wood. What conclusions could you draw from that?
Is it really like that?
Oh my God.
I
Exactly
understand
that.
tape measures. I work with them. That's insane.
Tape measures are applicable to measuring the wood. I'll give them that. The pressure meter is applicable to measuring the pressure. If you come back next week and measure a different bit of wood, it makes no difference. What are you measuring? What are you? You're certainly not sciencing anything, are you?
Nope. No, it's just that stupid. It's just that stupid. You're pushing on a string.
You're random sampling the atmosphere. At best, you're saying, did that loads? You could say that if I pull out a piece of wood, the average bit of wood will be this long. I mean, it's worth nothing, the sampling. No inference.
Yep, doesn't mean anything. That's what I said. It's meaningless. All of it was meaningless from the very beginning. Yep.
So they should be institutionalized.
Yes. Now, if they did it in jest, then this is frigging hilarious. But if you're serious, you need to be tackled right now. I mean, full paddy wagon, guys in white suits with those long 10-penny needles filled with horse tranquilizers. They need to tackle you, tranquilize you, emergency ambulance to Shady Meadows, rubber roomed, then force lobotomized. That's
you
it.
mean Beautiful Mind John Nash type shit.
Yeah, that's all I can say. I really can't say too much about this. That's really all I can say. See what we got here. That's almost an hour. That's not too bad.
Can I shout out some super chats?
Oh, Betty, hey, yes, please.
Well, I got 3 super chats, 2 from Flat Earth Travolta, and I will read the first one of his. He says, "Gas fall down, go boom boom." And Ricky Alive stepped in halfway the show, and he says, "Sorry, I'm late. You can go ahead and start. Maybe a good place would be to define light."
He just can't get away from it. That light, I don't know the antecedent.
Antecedent?
Thanks, Dave.
And then we got another from Flat Mr. Volta, and he says, in quote marks, "If I'm right, I must have a good argument. I am right, therefore I must have a good argument." Then that cargo called an argument together, plus give it to QE.
I like where his mind's at too. But hey, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate that. I like where Travolta's mind's at with this. Yeah, he's catching on to it. I like the first one, by the way. This is really good.
That unorthodox had a hypothesis in the beginning. What was it about with the horse trampling on the floor with entropy? Whatever.
Oh my God, that was so long ago. He tried to dispute the second law of thermodynamics with horse hooves.
Exactly. Wasn't that was precious, wasn't it? He tried that back then, right?
So you're giving him credit for trying.
Yeah, I mean, if you are sort of the teacher and they are the students, then at least he needs to get a one for trying.
I can understand. I see what you're going. They're trying, and I can see it. That's all I'm going to give you right now. I can't go further than that.
They try to mimic or to use the things that you say, that how you want counter arguments or proofs of something. I mean, you have to give it to him. He tries. He sort of thinks.
I give it to them for giving you material.
Oh yeah, I'm never, as long as these Betty's Discord, 24/7 Discord, the hangouts are going on. It's never going to end. So
I don't think it is, mate. Have you seen the chat here? And it's just boldy dodgy. And just let me say this slowly. I'd like to address it, but I bet before I get to the end, you'll chew it. Right. The pressure exerted by the weight of the atmosphere, which at sea level has a mean value of 101,325 pascals of pressure, roughly 14.6959 pounds per square inch, another measure, is no containment. That kind of statement sums up the ignorance that's being displayed here. Okay? To make a statement of weight and describe gas and their free moving things, use units which describe their free movement, just exemplifies the problem. It's a complete dishonesty. It's a complete patching together of correct statements to try and formulate a false argument.
No, he's not. I don't think he's being dishonest. I don't think that. No, that's stupidity. He thinks this has so many problems with it. I'll just kill it quick. Once you invoke weight, then you're invoking little g. Once you invoke that, then you invoke one vector. And then once you invoke that, your argument goes up in flames because gas behavior moves freely and randomly at high speeds. So that has every conceivable vector, and just with that, your appeal is a belly laugher. All you're doing is parroting Wiki, thinking that there are columns of air above your head that are weighing down, like pushing down on you. That's moronic. Gases don't behave like that.
You state weight, and then you go on to talk in units of collisions of free moving particles. I'm saying it's just nonsense, absolute nonsense to use the term weight and then justify it by talking about free movement.
Oh, I see.
I have a question.
Hold on, Chocolate. I see. Good on you, Adam. That's really good. I missed that, but you're exactly right. They're doing another apples to orangutans.
Yeah.
Very good point, Adam. Very good. Thank you for that. Yes, true. Chocolate.
Just one question. How do you weigh gas?
Is that rhetorical or are you asking me?
Oh, anyone. Like, how do you weigh gas?
Conventionally speaking, I'm going to answer, but I'm going to caveat this because in the convention of weight, how you're going to do it, you're going to have to put it in a container. Right? But I got big problems with their definition of weight. At W equal mg. Mg love you long time. No, that is incorrect because you don't have little g. So in your convention, you might be correct, But when you start to take that convention, any facts in that convention that you arbitrarily assign, when you come out to reality and say that's absolutely true, you also should be forced lobotomized. Does everyone follow that? Hopefully. Do you follow that? I don't think I've ever stated it that way before.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not worried about convention much. I'm just saying, in practicality, if somebody wanted to wear gas, what would they have to do? Contain it.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Can't
Yeah.
weigh it. You can't weigh it. Heat is not expressible by a gas. Free movement. The only way to do it would be to take your bit of gas and say, look, at room temperature and pressure, this gas that occupies this volume, I will contain it, describe those parameters there. I will now then take it and phase transition it into either a liquid or solid to make it weighable. Anything else is back calculated. So what you would do, and what's been calculated, is say nitrogen, for example. You can calculate the weight of nitrogen because we freeze the frickin' thing once we know its volume and weigh it. But what we can't, so it's just can say it has that weight. It doesn't, never has weight. Sorry, just said it never has weight as a gas. It's only when you convert it into a liquid or a solid that it then will have a weight.
Oh.
Go
ahead. Finish up. Yeah.
That's it. You know, you can't have a weight of a gas to me. You have a volume and a pressure to describe it accurately. You can't describe. Never ever. If I'm dealing with gases, I can't take a weight of a gas. Take a volume and a pressure if I want it accurately, don't I? Because I want to know how many molecules I've got.
Right. Right. That's a very. I'm following you conceptually with that, Adam. Even then,
it is a conceptual thing, because to conceptualize weight of a gas, you have to conceptualize it in its other forms to give it that conception. It doesn't have a weight.
Right. I see what you're saying. And
other than a single molecule of itself have that weight, it wouldn't express that weight on anything. It would express a pressure. It's moving freely and randomly.
Right.
It's an expression of.
Right. Yeah, I'm following you with that. You conceptually, you're correct. And even then, when you say, remember, you have to say weight, you're still attached by the lips to the convention, right? Oh, you on a phone call?
No. I'm a chemist, so all there is weight. All they try to do with, remember that chemistry used to be called atomic weight. It's now called atomic mass. The only reason is to bring in G. We only have weight. The only measurable thing is weight. You know, when we're dealing with solids and liquids, we measure them in weight. We don't use weight for gases. We can't. Anything else is a convention that's mathematically applied. So they'll say, you know, it's actually got this mass times G gives you its weight. No, we measured its weight. The rest you made up.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Yeah. Folks, Adam
That's why I asked the question.
That's why I asked it. Thanks, Chocolate. Adam is lifting the veil up. People in the audience, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, did you catch what he just said? If you didn't, go back and listen to it again on this recording. It's profound what he just said. Thanks, Adam. Do you want to add anything more, sir?
I think ruin it.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it, right? Yeah. Like what was that? Oh man, George Costanza. Remember? They told whenever he says something funny, it's time to go. You just leave after you make the best, because everything else you can't go anywhere but down. Seinfeld back in the day.
Down.
What's that?
Mostly down.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just.
I am interrupted now.
Oh, and by the way, Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard. Look at that. We got you up here now. Yeah. I hope you weren't serious. Now, I didn't watch your video. I sure hope you weren't serious and did it like a spoof against that argument, because if you did it seriously, well, you can't make it anyway. You're already like 8 times dead. So this ain't going to hurt you that much more. I see. You can't lose anymore.
Can I share the super chat?
Yes, you may.
Okay, we got one from Unicorn Laser Eyes, and he says, QE shows where bars tears flow like wine.
That's right. You got it, Unicorn Laser Eyes. They're flowing like wine, brother. Ballers tears. That's what I drink.
Sweat, tears, and water.
Yeah.
Not sweat and tears.
I'll tell you what, Adam. Good on you, man. That was really sharp.
Pleasure. I've got a bit of garlic bread in my mouth. Sorry.
That's okay, man. That's okay. I'll go to somebody else. You go ahead and gestate. Now, there's another guy that was in that VC. It was Sin Cleanser. And I see him in here. Is he in here? Go. You could take him off mute.
Okay. Oh, what? I've done it?
Sin Cleanser. Hello, Mr. Antecedent. Yeah, he couldn't recover from it.
I think that it just popped in. Maybe he might not be aware of this.
I got you. Yeah. I didn't even
Oh no, it's Shadow Elite. It's someone else.
Oh, it's someone
Please.
else using a different name. That's outstanding. Yeah, you have a lot of integrity. I can tell. Go ahead and mute him.
Oh, I
Friggin-
already did.
Friggin' bozos, man. Unbelievable. But Sin Cleanser was one of the ones that was in the hang. He couldn't recover from the non-antecedent. I couldn't even get to the rest of the argument with it. He fell out just over that.
Yeah, but everybody can make a mistake in lettering, whatever.
Well, that's true, and I understand. I got that, and I was being a bit pedantic, but I mean, come on.
Prey.
Say again.
It's easy prey if you make a mistake, right? People did it with you as well. And if you make a mistake, they're all over that instead of the rest of the argument.
Well, yeah, and listen, I gave it its due. Only, how long did I stay on it? Not that long. I went to more of cowbell substance, right? So, but
Yes.
yeah. The first impressions, because this is one of the first statement, right after Dome Killer, unbelievable. But I understand you. Okay, so I'm guilty of being pedantic, but you got to admit, antecedent is friggin' hilarious.
Sedative. I thought sedative.
That's what I thought. Sedative.
Anti-sedative. Yeah, right. Sure.
So, John, I got a question, because when I go with my brother, when we're doing air conditioning work, we put that refrigerant in a container and we do weigh it.
Right.
So I'm trying to understand. I missed what Adam was saying.
I can summarize more. Number one, that goes back to Chocolate's first comment or question. How do you weigh a gas? Right? It must be contained. Number one. What I'm saying, Adam took a little different take on it. But what I'm saying, remember, when you're saying weight, you're inside a human convention. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Because everyone knows what that means. As long as everyone's on the same sheet of music, that's why conventions are created. So everyone gets on the same sheet of music. I have nothing wrong with it, but I do have when you come outside the convention, and this has a lot of applicabilities to every convention. When you come outside the convention to make a claim on reality, it's non sequitur. It's batshit crazy. You can't do that. Now I can get more specific. Weight equals mg, love you a long time, because you're going to have a difficult time defining mass. More than difficult, you're never going to do it. And then you invoke little g. Well, you're not going to be able to validate little g. Are you following?
Yeah, and it's sort of like with time too, right? Time is something we made up. That's a convention, right?
Yes. Well, a better one would be the metric system, right? If no one's heard of the metric system, and I say, well, this is a meter, this is a kilogram, this is a kilometer. Well, it is utterly meaningless to anyone that's never been involved with the convention, right? You'll be lost. It's just noise. Follow?
Follow. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
I think just to add that, Neil, there's in terms of saying you weigh the gas. If you look back on some of the other, as you'll see where pressure is created by collisions within the molecules and on the container. You give the molecules so little space, comes a point with nitrogen and that we've got liquid nitrogen. Well, it's not cold enough for nitrogen liquid. They've got so little space that they start to behave like a liquid, the fundamental level. So they start to flow over each other and instead of moving freely because there's nowhere else to go. And that's the fundamental principle of a gas. It can go where the bloody hell it likes. So much space. The only thing that can stop it moving is another particle, but there's so much gap between them that it's never a problem, which is why there's particles moving up way, can you? Ones that are coming down, exerting a bit of pressure on the scale, you could. When they're compacted so much, and unfortunately, then they are able to be classed as a weight. Now, in that liquid state, then you do classify the weight. But I think when you're talking about big cylinders and stuff, still looking at approximation. I wouldn't call it. But when you see on the cylinder, they'll say this will give you so much volume. They'll have put that much in initial volume and compressed it into that. That make more sense.
Yes, it does. That was really good, Adam. You need to make a
Yes, I got it.
You know what you need to do, Adam? Because I know you're not busy. You need to make a presentation with that. You really should. I like it. I like where you were going with that. I think it's a great concept to discuss. I really do. So you get on that, all right?
So I shall start that as I finish my tea.
Hey, I'm really good at assigning stuff. Ask Betty.
I've noticed.
You're scared.
Too funny, man. All right. Any final thoughts? Let's see what we got. Oh, Chocolate had to go. Yeah, he's recused. We got Travis.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, what's going on? Travis Clark, any thoughts, any questions, concerns?
Oh man, I just literally popped back in here. I apologize. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hey, neither did the ball darts.
COVID.
Oh man. Oh, brother. All right.
Been very, very busy dissecting gibberish.
Yeah, but it's been fun. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I don't think we need to beat this disheveled monkey any more than it's been beaten. So, B-Fitty, Unorthodox, and the Photosynthetic Redneck. Boy, I sure hope you guys weren't serious. I'll tell you that much right now. Betty, any final thoughts? Admin.
No, admin. Just one last remark. Well, they said that you must have been pretty worried about this dome killer.
Yeah, I was shaking. I'm sorry.
You're scared.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your statement. I was stepping all over you. Go ahead. Finish that.
Well, I think that you got the gist of it. You're really scared over that. They said that you were really scared about that argument. And that people needed to press this. But,
I was quivering in my boots uncontrollably. Whatever led to you being scared? Are you divining my emotions now, ball tarts? Is that what you're doing? Because no one knew that. See, they tried to get me to tell them what was wrong with the argument all week, and I wouldn't do it. That's scary that you guys couldn't tell what was wrong with the arguments to begin with. That's the really scary part. But I wouldn't tell them. The only thing that I would just stress on was the antecedent and no therefore P, no conclusion. That's the only thing I would give up. They were saying, QE, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Unbelievable. You exposed yourself for not knowing what was wrong with it. Just rewatch this show. And if you're not full of shame after that, I don't know what to tell you. All right. Anything else, Betty?
Nope.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. For you guys out in the audience, hopefully this was entertaining. As I said, I hope this was done as a joke by them, but I don't think so. So, take no prisoners. No quarter will be asked. None shall be given. And remember, I'll be back.